continue to take the pulse of voters around the country with less than a week to the poll and politicians campaigning hard to win their nod. Nqobile Madlala joins me from Durban North in KwaZulu-Natal. We're also joined by Monique Mortlock in Kimberley. Hello, ladies. Monique, I'll start with you. What have party leaders in Kimberley been saying to potential voters?
The DA has held its final rally in Kimberley today, or in the Northern Cape. They held it in an area called Durban, and when I asked why they chose this area specifically, the DA leaders here in the Northern Cape said it's because of the many service delivery issues that have been plaguing residents living in this town. We tried speaking to DA leader John Steenhuisen, who had addressed supporters, but he refused to speak to us. But we did manage to catch up with some of the provincial leaders in the area, including provincial chairperson Isak Fritz. And we asked him what does he believe is the party's chances, and because the party has been trying to make inroads here in the ANC-led Saul Plaatje municipality for a number of years. This is what he had to say.
Been on the road since the 13th of September. So we have traveled 18,000 kilometers across the Northern Cape. That is now more gravel road, more potholes than tar road. So the feeling is that is very positive towards the DA to vote for change. I think our people is now fed up of service delivery. Within Saul Plaatje, we had a lot of people that is unhappy with service delivery. You know, you were previously here within Kimberley. So I think they need change within Kimberley, in the Saul Plaatje, and as I said, within each and every municipality in the Northern Cape, there's problems with service delivery. So I think that we're going to have a good outcome. I think that we're going to grow on the ground. The people is very positive. So I think that we're going to do well within the Northern Cape.
All right, so that's the DA in the Northern Cape predicting that they will win more voters. Nqobile Madlala, let's bring you in from KwaZulu-Natal. You're in Northern Durban, an area called Briardene. What have you been finding out about the issues and the challenges people are facing in that area?
Quite interestingly, Sally, what we have seen here is that there are two issues. The first one is the fact that where we are standing, and I'm going to step out of shot to show you, this area here has basically been saying there's been no sense of service delivery, that they feel like they've been left to just live in the tinned houses, which they say that the municipality of eThekwini has given them. They're also at the same time saying things like waste is not collected on time. Also, they have no roads. Really, this is the only patch of road that they have. They've been giving these tent houses to continue living in them after the area had burnt, they had burnt down. And also at the same time, Sally, things like sewer, simple things like that, and water, they don't have. So they've been saying that they are asking and they are appealing that they be seen and be heard. Just not so long ago, there was an outrage over the PITS toilets that were installed in this area. And the area continues to grow from what we are seeing and what we have heard. But at the same time, Sally, this area is not far from houses just further down up there are worth millions and millions of rand. And now the property owners, they are saying that they're worried. They're worried about the value, the devaluation of the property, because to have an informal settlement just close to their houses is in a way detrimental to the value of their houses. One of the owners that we spoke to said she is very worried about her safety as well. She's at a point where she can't even leave the house. She can't leave the clothes outside if she had done a washing, because safety is such a concern. Another lady said to us she was attacked, as well as another gentleman who was saying that the house right next door to him now at this point was ransacked. And it's an area where it has people that live there that steal from them. All sort of things are happening, and it's so difficult for them to live in this area, and now they can't even sell. So quite quite a dynamic there, Sally. One area asking for service delivery, the other really concerned over the safety.
But Nqobile, you're making such an incredibly important point that it is in everyone's interest, rich and poor, that everyone has access to decent housing and decent services. Really important picture coming there from Durban North. Monique, I want to come back to you in Kimberley in the Northern Cape. Just talk to me about the breakdown of political support in the Mortlock municipality and what residents are saying about the messaging coming from parties such as the DA.
It's been a mixed response. I've spoken to some residents who have all but given up hope in their municipality, saying that they haven't been seeing any change in the area for a number of years. In fact, some residents saying that they've seen the city going backwards. We've driven through a number of roads and a number of sections here in the city where it's pothole-ridden roads. We've seen areas where there's sewage overflowing in the streets and in people's homes and even on school property. And this is an ANC-led municipality, and people, while some people blame the ANC, others say politicians in general have failed them and they are simply either not voting or looking to independent candidates who are either just normal residents from various communities or community leaders who are now deciding to stand up and to see if they can make a difference and to bring about change. Before we get to the supporters I spoke to from the DA's rally today, I did speak to the Mortlock municipality's mayor yesterday, who said that they have been trying over recent years to improve on services, but aging infrastructure, vandalism and theft on infrastructure have really hampered these efforts. But he is hopeful that the next mayor to step in and the next council to step in, that they will be able to just build on what his leaders have been able to achieve so far. When I spoke to some of the DA supporters, there were a couple who told me they used to be ANC supporters but are now looking for something different. Let's just take a listen to what some of them had to say.
Vir my voel dit net om die DA 'n kans te gee. Dis 'n tweede kans vir my, want in die begin het ek mos nou ANC gewout, maar ek kon nooit service delivery kry nie. So ek voel nou as ons die DA gaan vout, sal ons daarom dinge gedoen kry. So mense, kom ons gee die DA 'n kans.
It's really interesting, that coming from Kimberley, Monique. And I'm just wondering, Nqobile, you're in Durban North, and of course we know that eThekwini is run by the ANC. Given the issues around service delivery that you've just been sketching for us around Briardine, it would seem on the surface that it would be very easy for opposition parties to come in and say, we can do so much better than this. Talk to me about what the politicians in the area are saying.
Well, Sally, definitely this area does fall under eThekwini municipality, but the ward itself falls under DA. So you can imagine the contestation between the two parties, one really trying to get a hold of the other. So it's been already hotly contested, but the smaller parties are coming out and saying that if you're bringing us in, we will change the dynamics here. They're saying things like when we spoke to Action SA, they're saying the fact that there are people that are worried about the devaluation of the property, and there are people that are looking for housing. They have a solution for that. For starters, they were talking about the fact that this is wrong, that the people have been given corrugated iron to basically be their homes. They're saying that there needs to be a way that that can be structured, so they have the plan for that. While ACP also was talking about the fact that all that has happened to these people is unfair, and they want to also change that. Of course, they would like to see the people going out and voting for them, but they were saying that they don't want to talk much. What they want to do is act, but they just need to get that vote first and act. They were also just worried about the fact that there's been, they were saying that there's an issue of land in the in eThekwini, and therefore this needs to be addressed as soon as possible. And so there has to be an idea as to how the housing needs to be built in order for everyone to be able to get that essential roof over their head. But let's listen to to Makosi Khoza to explain a bit more in terms of how that would work if Action SA had a chance to be in this ward.
What I am telling people is that we've got to deliver high-rise buildings. We have to re-engineer the entire city, replan the entire design of the city, because there is no way you are going to be able to address the over 528 informal settlements that we have all over eThekwini unless you have a long-term plan. There are things that you need to do immediately, and that is ensuring that people at least live in dignified environment. Those are the things that we can promise people that we can do as Action SA, but we won't eradicate the 528 informal settlements overnight. It's got to be a comprehensive plan.
That's Makosi Khoza there of Action SA speaking in eThekwini. Thank you so much to both of you. That is our reporters Nqobile Madlala from Durban and Monique Mortlock in Kimberley.